Alright, let's fix this POS. I've been putting it off until I could pick up one of these guys, which isn't quite the right tool, but it's better than regular old pliers. The big thing about this video, if you've got a Buell and you're looking at the connector and wondering, oh god, which spot is for red, which is for black? 1 is for black, 2 is for red. I'll show you later. Hey, look at that. I got a running bike again. And my headlight's working. I swapped out the voltage regulator. That's what this video is going to be about. See you in a second. Shoot. I should probably leave that in because it's hilarious. Stoplight, a-hole. Alright, so this whole connector 77 thing, it's a real finicky connector that these bikes came with. And if the connector flexes at all, then the connection is subpar, lots of resistance, lots of heat, and the plastic housing will melt. So Harley issued an upgraded connector, which can flex a little bit more without having that problem. The issue is that the new voltage regulators that you buy is an updated part with the new connector, so I had to put the new connector on this bike. Arguably should be put on anyway. A lot of guys just solder the 2 wires, but the issue there is that if you have to remove the motor from the frame, instead of a nice little connector, you gotta cut the wires. You should definitely buy this from a reputable source. I chose to spend $221 from St. Paul Buell, and the reason why is because I know it's a genuine part and I know I'd get it fast. If you buy one from China, it's probably going to be weeks. Time is money, folks. This is the notorious connector 77, and because it's a little bit flexible, the contacts within can melt the plastic, cause a lot of problems. Luckily, I haven't had that issue on my bike. My voltage regulator has failed before this has been an issue. However, this is something that everyone should do on their Buell. Notice how there's 2 black wires coming out of the voltage regulator and a black and a red wire coming up here. This causes a lot of confusion. On the new connector, red is 2, black is 1. That's all you gotta remember. Alright, that comes apart pretty easily. Now you have to figure out how to get these connector pins out of here so you can cut the wires. Alright, here's the old voltage regulator. Notice how there's tons of cracking on here. This isn't even as bad as it'll get. It'll get way worse before the bike stops charging. But yeah, tons of cracks in there. The metal plate here is really important. You can find a $50 version of this that's some cheap crap from China if it doesn't have the metal plate here. But if you want to have an actual part that you know will work and won't crap out on you in short order, you gotta buy the genuine thing from St. Paul Buell with the metal plate. Look for that metal plate. I'm not sure if that's gonna be an indicator of genuineness for too much longer. Apparently in other bikes that is being copied. But yeah, look at the lack of cracking here. And nice, new, shiny. But this came to me within 3 days of ordering it. That's the real advantage of not buying direct from China. Wrestling these parts off aren't that easy, but don't worry about destroying it. It's not like you're going to use it again, right? Now, I know there's some trick to this. Is it as simple as simply pulling out the pins? It can't be that easy, can it? Pretty sure we gotta get a piece in there to jam it open. Let's get a pick. It is that easy. Just getting a pick in there and pushing the pins out once you got the clip taken care of. That's all it takes. Easy peasy. Let's see if we can pick that open and not need to strip the wires. How nice would that be? Yeah, it was crimped on there pretty good. I do have to strip a little bit of the wire off. Strip the wire back a few millimeters. Is it a good idea to dip these connectors and wires in some dielectric grease, especially crusty dielectric grease? Maybe. That's all it takes, just a little bit. Hey Ian, I hear dielectric grease is just Vaseline. Is that true? Well, I use dielectric grease, but it sure feels like Vaseline. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. Now, is it proper to use a wrench like this to crimp a connection? No, that can cause you big problems. That's why you should buy a proper tool like this and actually frickin' crimp it. Shoot. I forgot to disconnect the battery leads. Probably blew that fuse. It's on there pretty good. I just have car versions, bigger version, but thank God for the fuse. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do, kiddos. Alright, there we go. Now let's zip tie everything together with some official Harley-Davidson zip ties. Yeah! Alright, let's put it all back together. Yeah, it sure is possible. If you can't tell, I have fun doing this. So every time I do a job, if I do it a little differently, that's like, yeah! I need the homie Bill with me on this one. I was not feeling confident. And I do not have that 30 amp motorcycle blade fuse. So I've chopped a car one. We'll see if it runs. I bet she will. The headlight's on, at least. Oh, look at that. I fixed it. Ooh-wee. Well, I would say that was a lovely ride, and my new belt did not snap, so success! Is my headlight on? My headlight's still on! Success!